But we're joined now in our makeshift studio here at NASRAC on eNCA GSTV Channel 43 by NEC member Mmamoloko Kubayi. Mmamoloko, good afternoon. Welcome to eNCA.
Good afternoon, Pratem.
Have you slept?
Not yet, not at all. I think for the coming few days, we just have to go on.
Yeah, were you worried at some point yesterday about the delay? Although the program that we have that you distributed said 8:30 or 9 o'clock was the start, we ended up starting at about 4 o'clock. Was there any point where you're concerned whether this conference will get going?
No, we knew that it will go. There were glitches in terms of the administration, but not that it couldn't start. So, yeah, the concern around starting time, I mean, we've tried over years to say we need to improve and start on time. So it was unfortunate. It's the new membership system that we are implementing. I hope they've been able to explain that we've got to, even my registration delayed. So I concluded yesterday because how it was captured on the system and how my ID was not corresponding, so it needed to be fixed. So I have to go into the system, change, and then they accept that side, so it delays.
How critical is this verification of membership process?
It's critical because you don't want people who are not members to be the ones that participate. So now you verify on the spot that Mmamoloko is a member of the ANC as she attends conference, being here, while even as NEC member as a delegate. So it's not only just that you are here, you are supposed to be delegate. You must be a member in good standing.
Yeah. So the organizational report is being presented by the Deputy President of the ANC, David Mabuza, in plenary right now. You're from there. How's it going? How's the mood?
No, it's going very well. It looks like they've adjourned now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going very well. The report is being presented. It's an account for 5 years that what have we been doing. For example, there will be even part of the reports on the subcommittees, including ours. What have we been able to achieve, the provinces and all that. So it's 5 years. Provinces, how they've performed, the leagues, the elections, how we have been doing, what have been the lessons learned, all that work. It's what this organization is about. That's what is being presented.
Tell me something, do you resonate, talking about organizational, the organizational report, where the organization is, how far it's come in the last 5 years, what you've done, what you haven't done. As a person who's been in the organization from your youth years, do you still resonate with the ANC that is today compared to when you joined?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't. The reason I'm still here is because I do resonate. There will be weaknesses, or there are weaknesses. There might be challenges everywhere. They exist. Even in families, there will be challenges. You don't say because in the house there are problems and then you run away from your home. You stay and fix them. So I still believe that this is the organization we will be able to fix.
Yeah, one of the points that the president of the ANC yesterday, your president, Matamela Ramaphosa, pointed out in his political report is the issue of corruption within the ranks of the ANC, and that looking ahead, the ANC needs to not just renew itself, but it needs to approach the future differently in terms of the quality that it attracts. Currently, it looks like over the last 5 years, there's been some erosion of that quality.
Look, this discussion has been some time. I remember even the 2012 conference, we started that discussion where we were even talking about two-tier membership system. Members and then also those who are almost supporters, and then sectoral membership. We have to go back there. It might be that we can't do it now, but that discussion has to come back. Because by nature, because of the ANC being in the position where it is, access to power, access to resources. So not everybody who joins the ANC today would be joining it to come and contribute, but many would come and looking for what can I benefit. So it's different during the apartheid times. People would be scared because they would either be killed. Today it's access to resources, which is a threat to the organization and its fiber and what the ANC is about. And when you look at what President said around corruption, it's true. And it worries us. And that's why part of the issues is around cleansing. If you have a history of a record, criminal record, because there's no way that the ANC can say we want to be renewed when you have a branch member who's a convicted corrupt fraudster or somebody who has stolen money from public purse or who had done a haste. So it's those things that will help us as we cleanse the organization, but it has to start with the membership.
But those who've been benefiting from those corrupt practices within the organizations are not going to just sit by. They're going to be fighting back.
Typical.
Are you worried?
Typical, yes, it does worry. But the issue is I always believe where there's goodwill will prevail over evil. The issue for us is that start somewhere. And what we have started with now, I do believe it's a step in the right direction. It's those steps that would matter and eventually contribute to a bigger picture. Once you start saying, if you are corrupt, for example, if you have been convicted, you can't contest, people know that there's no need for me to go there anyway. I can't hold a position. It's helping compared to previously where you could stand, you could contest whatever. So it helps. But as I'm saying, it's not only going to have to be about leadership, but it's going to have to be about membership. So the new leadership that is incoming will have to look into that to say, how do we ensure that even the membership system itself, people who are coming in, are not people that are not supposed to be associated with the African National Congress.
In 2012, you mentioned 2012 and the national conference then. You mentioned in policy the decade of the cadre. It comes to an end this year, and it spoke a lot about developing the cadre so that you are able to, make sure that the deployment of each cadre is actually quality cadres. Has this happened? When you look at it and you're honest, in the last 10 years?
It's in progress. Let's start here. When we talk about it, a decade of a cadre, not only those who are deployed, but members of the ANC overall. That's why the OR Tambo School was conceptualized to say we need to have that. Members of the ANC must go through this political school. So we have established the school. There are modules that we have to go through. Even when you become a public rep, you need to have gone into that area. There are now criteria and qualifications for members who are representing ANC. You'd have known with the mayors. They went through interviews. They needed to have junior degrees. So there's quite a lot of work from that in deploying and developing cadres of the movement. So there's an advancement, calling for different type of leaders, calling for different type of members, and all that is encompassed. As we reflect, obviously, there will be a traction of what we have done. We would want to see over going forward, you would see in terms of the school, OR Tambo School, that we want to see a school where it's physical compared to others, like others are doing, where people can go before I can be a minister. There should be a qualification that I would have done politically besides my own academic qualification so that I am the right cadre and refresh us over time. And that's work in progress in that area.
It's just that the July policy documents admits, the ANC admits itself that even the school, the OR Tambo School, there was not enough candidates going there, not enough people went there on behalf of the ANC or for the ANC to teach. So that's why I'm asking if you really think that you've done well in the last 10 years for the year of the decade of the cadre.
No, that's what I'm saying is work in progress. This establishment, and then, for example, as I'm saying, if you are to be deployed, you need to have done what we would want to see. It's a school that is more compulsory for all members. For example, where you can say, before you can be admitted as a member, while you are on probation, you need to have gone through the following modules in terms of that. Not only modules online, but attend physical school. Then you are a member in good standing because you have gone to the OR Tambo School.
I see, as you said, I think the session is at break now because just outside our studio, there's another group of delegates of the ANC singing as they are making their way, I guess, to get some refreshments. And we can hear that from live from our studios here. Let's just shift to another topic now. Women representation.
Yes.
In the top 6, I mean, it's a big disappointment. I'm sure you've spoken about it, you've been asked about it, and other women leaders of the ANC. How likely is it at this conference that from the floor we'll get nominations that could take the top 6 to be 50-50 in terms of male-female representation?
Look, we haven't given up the fight in terms of having women in the top 6 will continue. And as I said previously, it's not even about me personally. It's about the representation. We still argue that in this day and age, you can't have the ANC not having representation of women in key positions, and where the decisions are making, the voice of women can't continue to miss. And we're hoping that, because one of the things that we acknowledge, some of us as leaders, that we should have been really waken up or awake on, was the constitutional amendment. We should have forced a constitutional amendment to ensure that the top 6 is 50-50. We didn't achieve that. Now we are calling on delegates, and we'll do it in plenary, to call on delegates' consciousness to understand that it can't continue in this day on an organization with so many years.
It looks like you are being relegated to deputy positions, but even then it's like a deputy SG or deputy or deputy
It's
something.
unacceptable. It can't be that DSG position is just put for women. That's highly unacceptable. We want to see full positions having women, and we hope we can have something in that position.
Why is it that in 2022, the organization was born in 1912 and it's been preaching and pushing for women's emancipation, you still find yourself stuck? Is it because it's a societal issue around patriarchy? Does that find expression in the branches of the ANC?
Look, I do believe, Bragdane, is that it's a societal issue. We live in a patriarchal society. Our organization is more patriarchal as well. We have to accept that. But even more, I'll make myself as an example. It's not only within the ANC. For you to campaign and run a successful campaign, there are resources that you need as a candidate. I didn't have business people supporting me because they didn't believe in my campaign, because I'm a woman leader. Now, that's where the problem is. Now, you have your male counterparts who would have all the resources, all the support that they need. When you are a woman, you are more like you're running a race 2 kilometers behind, and you have to catch up. The second area is around the rules. The rules are designed and defined by patriarchy for women to compete. You're already on a back foot with that. And these are the lessons I'm taking out of this. I don't regret for a second having contested and having done what I've done. I'm labeled here as a rebel, and I'm gladly wearing that label because it means I've disrupted. And I would want to continue to disrupt, but encourage more women to disrupt.
I expected to actually see your name at least at the deputy president part, because that's where some of the branches wanted to see you. So I did expect to see your name somewhere in the top 6. So if you are named on the floor in plenary for any position in the top 6, will you avail yourself?
Look, yeah, well, definitely. Floor nomination is not easy, I must say. It's never easy. It's almost 1,200 that you need on the floor.
25%.
Yes, 25%. So it's not as easy as your branches, you know, where you nominate. You'll need more support. There are quite a lot of discussions that are happening. If in those discussions, I mean, we can try to say the functions don't happen or caucuses don't happen. There are caucuses that are sitting. And if those caucuses don't agree and put the name, the success rate of that name of the floor is almost nil.
0 to none.
Okay, we're going to come back and continue our discussion.